Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, have you ever stopped to think about how babies learn to speak? I mean, it's kind of amazing, right?
It really is.
They don't crack open grammar books or anything,
Yeah.
no
A
flashcards.
vocabulary list, nope.
They just listen, they repeat stuff, they mess up all the time,
Constantly.
and they just try again. So, what if that whole process, that seemingly simple thing, is actually the secret for us adults learning English? Like maybe it flips everything we thought we knew.
Uh-huh.
Today, that's our mission. We're doing a real deep dive into this idea, looking at material called Learn English Like a Baby. We want to unpack why this approach, which sounds so intuitive, might actually be, well, the most powerful way to learn a language, period.
Yeah.
I think by the end of this deep dive, you might look at learning English completely differently, maybe have a few aha moments along the way.
Well, it's interesting because it really does challenge how we as adults think we should learn, you know?
Mm.
We often bring all this baggage,
Yeah.
self-consciousness,
Yeah.
and this material points towards something much more natural. Acquisition versus forced learning feels less like homework, more like, I don't know, discovery.
Okay, let's get into it then. Unpack this. The material really hits hard on babies not being afraid of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, why are babies so fast? And why is that lack of fear so important?
That's the crux of it, really. It's fascinating. Adult fear literally shuts down the learning process that babies just naturally use.
Mm-hmm.
A baby doesn't stop and think, oh dear, was my vowel sound off?
Right, no internal critic.
Exactly. They just babble, they try words, they hear things hundreds, maybe thousands of times, copy the adults around them, play with sounds. Their focus is 100% on communicating, getting their point across, not on achieving perfection.
Whereas we adults,
We overthink everything. We're constantly worrying, am I saying this right? Is this the correct tense? What if they laugh at me? And that fear, it's a massive wall, a huge blocker.
so if we take inspiration from that, that fearlessness,
Yeah.
what can we actually do? The material lays out some clear steps. Right?
Yeah, practical steps.
First, it says listen a lot, like podcasts, music, real conversations happening around you.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial.
Second, repeat what you hear, even if it feels a bit awkward at first.
Mm-hmm. Gotta do it.
Third, use short, real phrases, not just isolated words from a list.
Yeah, chunks of language.
And maybe the hardest one for some,
Hmm.
don't constantly stop to translate in your head. Trust your brain to figure it out from context.
Exactly right. Think about it. A baby hears, what's this?
Mm.
Hundreds of times.
Mm.
They see someone point, they hear the question, they connect it.
Yeah.
Eventually they try it.
Ah, okay.
They slowly get, it's how you ask about something, you can do the same. Here, how's it going? Just say it out loud, how's it going? Don't analyze the death, just repeat it. Let it become natural.
That really does challenge the usual method, doesn't it?
Right.
The standard advice is always grammar book first, memorize rules, do the exercises.
Right, the textbook approach.
Yeah.
But what's so mind-blowing here is that babies grasp language before they can even speak properly.
Just by listening.
Purely by listening. Imagine. Before a baby says mama, they probably heard it thousands of times. They're absorbing the patterns, the rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
like where words start and end, which sounds fit together, the whole feel of a sentence. They watch faces, gestures, they pick up on emotion, the tone of voice,
Mm.
the music of the language.
Music. I like that.
Yeah, they feel the meaning. They're not sitting there translating word for word from baby ease to meaning. It's intuitive.
So, okay, the takeaway for us adults, you don't have to like wear a diaper or anything,
Uh-huh, definitely not.
but you have to learn like a baby, which means immerse yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen to Real English every day. Podcasts, YouTube, movies, overhearing conversations. Even if you don't catch every word. That's okay.
So don't stress about 100% comprehension.
No. Focus on getting the gist, the overall feeling, and start noticing those common phrases, those chunks of language. Things like, I don't know, or it depends. You never know.
And the material calls them the DNA of real conversation.
That's a great way to put it. They are.
Okay, but just hearing those DNA chunks isn't enough, right? You need them to stick.
Exactly. And that brings us to repetition. Listening once or twice. Not enough. Your brain needs repetition to build those strong pathways.
Neural connections?
Yep, neural connections makes recall automatic. So you're not digging for the word, it just comes out. Think about bye-bye. A baby hears it maybe 1,000 times connected to the action of leaving before they say it confidently. It's like paving a highway in your brain.
So we need active repetition, not just passive listening. The material suggests, like, saying phrases quietly, then louder, copying the rhythm.
Yes, absolutely. Copy the emotion to, there's a great example. You're watching a movie, someone says, "Are you kidding me?" with real feeling.
Okay.
Don't just note it down. Pause in the movie.
Yeah.
Say it.
Are you
Kidding me? Then say it with feeling. Are you kidding me? Feel how your mouth moves. Feel the stress, the intonation, the music of it.
That sounds powerful, actually.
It is. Incredibly powerful. The material tells this story about Anna. Moved to London. English was pretty basic. Very shy. Terrified of mistakes.
Common story.
She found a podcast she liked and started shadowing it. Just 15 minutes every morning.
Shadowing. What's that exactly?
It means speaking at the exact same time as the podcast host. Trying to match their speed, their pauses, their intonation, even their emotion.
Wow. Okay. That sounds hard.
It was. She said she stumbled a lot at first, couldn't keep up, but she stuck with it. And after just 2 months, big difference. Her speaking was faster, smoother, much more natural. She was using phrases from the podcast without even thinking about it.
So let's break that down. What are the real benefits for you, the listener, if you start repeating out loud or shadowing?
Well, first, you're literally training your mouth muscles, getting them used to making English sounds.
Right, fickle practice.
Second, you practice pronunciation in a really natural way, not just isolating sounds. Third, you internalize the rhythm and flow, the music we talked about. And maybe most importantly, you start thinking in English more. Instead of translating everything from your native language, it feels alive, real, not like doing grammar exercise.
Definitely not like homework.
So my advice, start small. Don't feel you have to shadow a whole hour-long show immediately. Pick a few short, common phrases like, "What do you mean?" or "I see what you mean." Maybe you never know.
Okay.
Repeat them while you're walking, making coffee, in the shower. Just say them out loud. Let them roll around.
Yeah, but what if you feel silly doing that? Talking to yourself.
Ah, the silly factor. Look, babies don't feel silly when they babble, do they?
True.
And honestly, if someone overhears and chuckles, smile back. The material makes a great point. You're doing something brave, something millions are too scared to try. That courage, that makes you special.
I like that perspective. So the big takeaway here is listening plus repeating beats endless grammar drills.
In terms of fluency and natural speaking, absolutely. Grammar is important, don't get me wrong, but you absorb it through context. You hear, "I've seen that movie enough times." Your brain just gets it. You don't need to consciously analyze, okay, subject plus have plus past participle.
Your brain learns the pattern naturally, like a baby's does.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Without the rule book.
Okay, so we got listening, repeating. What's the final piece? The material mentions something else babies do that we often miss.
Ah, yes. The fun part. Playing with the language. And, crucially, loving your mistakes.
Playing. How so?
Well, babies don't sit around conjugating verbs for fun, right?
Yeah.
They make funny sounds, they copy silly voices they hear, they try out new words just to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's pure experimentation, no fear.
So how do we play with English?
Lots of ways. Make up goofy sentences. My purple giraffe enjoys opera. Why not?
Okay.
Speak in different voices sometimes. Try saying, I don't know, like you're a secret agent or like a grumpy old man or a tiny kid. It loosens you up.
Uh-huh. Okay, I can see that.
And maybe the most useful, talk to yourself in English. Narrate your actions. Okay, where did I put my keys? What should I have for lunch today? Make English your internal chatter.
And that connects to the mistake thing, doesn't it? Reframing them. The material says mistakes are magic, which sounds counterintuitive.
It does, but think about it. A baby learning to walk falls down hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Hundreds. Do they just give up?
No, they get back up.
Exactly. Every single mistake you make speaking English, it's not failure. It's proof you're trying, you're learning, you're engaging. So instead of beating yourself up thinking, oh, I'm so bad at this, flip the script. Cool, I just learned something. Or, okay, that didn't sound right. How can I fix it next time?
So mistakes aren't bad, they're data.
Precisely. Mistakes are data. Data shows you where the gaps are. You hear the mistake, maybe someone gently corrects you, or you notice it yourself later. You adjust next time. Your brain learns from that feedback loop. Data leads to progress.
Whereas adults often see mistakes as like a judgment. I'm stupid.
Yeah, we attach shame to it. For a baby, it's just part of the game. No big deal. Fall down, get up, try again.
Okay, so we listen, repeat, play, embrace mistakes. How do we make this a part of life, not just a study session?
Nah, full immersion. Even when you're not in an English-speaking country. Babies learn all day, right? During meals, bath time, playtime. Language is just there.
So we need to create that environment.
Yes. Small things add up. Change your phone's language setting to English. Write your shopping list in English.
Good one.
Watch short English news clips or funny videos while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. And try narrating your day just quietly to yourself.
And I'm making tea now. Looks like it's raining outside.
Make it constant, low-level exposure.
Exactly. It stops being study time and just becomes how you interact with the world.
The material actually shares a cool story about a mirror exercise. Have you heard this one?
Tell me.
Okay, so this friend was really shy about speaking English, felt awkward. So she started talking to herself in English in the mirror just for 2 minutes every morning.
Okay. Yeah. Said she felt super silly at first, but she kept doing it. And after just 1 week, she noticed words were coming out faster when she needed them later, and she actually started her day thinking in English more.
Wow, that's powerful.
Simple trick, right? You could try it, talk about your plans for the day, how you're feeling, what you did yesterday, just you in the mirror.
That really ties into another profound point the material makes. Confidence before fluency.
Say more about that.
Babies aren't fluent speakers on day one, obviously, but they're utterly confident in their attempts. They just go for it.
No hesitation.
That confidence, that willingness to try without fear of being imperfect, that comes first. The fluency follows that confidence. You have to give yourself permission to just try, even if it's messy.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've covered a lot. The core principles of learning like a baby are...
Listen. A lot. Right. Repeat what you hear naturally.
Yep. Play with words. Don't be afraid to sound silly.
Accept mistakes. See them as teachers, not failures. Crucial. And finally, live in English as much as possible. Don't just study it.
And the big message underneath all that seems to be forget perfection. Be brave.
That's it. You know, if you connect this to the bigger picture, learning English, or honestly, learning anything challenging, it really boils down to courage, doesn't it? It's about giving yourself permission. Permission to sound silly sometimes. Permission to make mistakes. Permission to open your mouth and speak, even if your voice is shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
It's about showing up for yourself, day after day, even when it feels slow, even when nobody's listening except you in the mirror. That consistent, brave effort, that's what builds real skill.
And every time you do that, repeat a new word, whisper a sentence to yourself, catch yourself thinking in English. You're not just learning language, you're building something maybe even more important inside you.
Confidence.
Confidence, exactly. So maybe the goal shouldn't be chasing this elusive idea of perfection.
No. Chase connection. Chase understanding. Chase curiosity. Just enjoy the process. Keep your heart open to it.
So here's a final thought for you to take away. Thinking about your own English journey right now, what's one mistake you could choose to embrace today? See it not as bad, but as a learning opportunity. And maybe, what's one small, seemingly silly way you could start playing with English today just to make it feel more alive, something to think about?